There it is. I am so pumped up. Are you guys excited for SLC? No or yes? Are you guys ready? You guys feeling good? So when I found out that I was given this message, I had to escape Tampa because Hurricane Irma came through, and I went to Philadelphia. And I canceled my bachelor party weekend. The boys, we had Harley Davidsons ready to go to Miami Dolphins game, and we had to flee out to Philadelphia. And I started thinking, I know hurricanes come through Tampa and come through Florida all the time, but I didn't quite understand what creates a hurricane. How does it work? And what's the difference between a thunderstorm and a hurricane? Is anybody with me? Say aye if you really have no idea like what creates a hurricane. Aye. Cool, I'm gonna educate you guys. You think we're here to set up PRs? I'm gonna educate you, I got you. So we're gonna teach you how to create a hurricane, but it's really the difference between a storm and a thunderstorm and a hurricane. It's really 4 simple ingredients. How many ingredients? 4 simple ingredients. I'm going to talk about those ingredients today on how to make your business a hurricane, because my business before this year was maybe a scattered shower at best. Sometimes there was a thunderstorm that came through, but it was more of a scattered shower. How do you go from scattered shower to hurricane? 4 simple ingredients. How many? 4 simple ingredients. It's not a lack of knowledge on why we're not executing at a high level in this room. It's not a lack of knowledge. It's simply a lack of inspiration to follow through. A lack of inspiration to follow through. So I know we heard from Greg earlier today about why. Before I talk about the how is so simple. I want to talk about the why. Why was I compelled to go set up my own PRs? At this event 1 year ago, I had a conversation with Evan Robinson. Had 95 PRs walk through his own door. 95 PRs. He did over $400,000 in new business last summer. I hear from Drew Franks, the #1 manager of all time in vector marketing. He's going out and setting up his own top slice PRs as a DVM at his Millionaires Table. This was the big thing. Set up your own PRs, and I'm doing $250K annually in new business. Scattered shower. And I'm thinking, if there's one thing that is difference between them and me, I got to do it. And that was the one thing that I took from SLC a year ago, so I decided to create massive action. The definition of insanity is to expect different results without what? Without change. What is it? Expect different results without change. What is it one more time? Expect different results without? If you're a scattered shower like I was, we have to change a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. And it's only 4 things. How many things? So we change a little thing, just a little bit, and we can create massive results. What kind of results? Massive results with just a little shift of how many things? 4, and I'm going to talk about those 4 things. But we have to be ready, we have to be inspired, because motivation at this event is going to rub off. It's only going to stay for a little bit. We have to be inspired. So I created systems. I created a system that was enjoyable. I created something that was simple, that I could eat, that's easy to replicate, that my staff and my development can follow suit with. We created a simple system, and it created massive results. If you're going to write down anything, I would write this down. Say yes to simple. Because when you say yes to simple, you're saying no to complexity. See, anytime we say yes to one thing, we're saying no to something else. I said no to complexity, I said yes to simple. I wanted to make it simple, so that way my development can follow it as well. I wanted to have a triple growth opportunity for me and also for my people. What is a triple growth? Personal, professional, financial growth. I wanted to grow personally. I wanted my people to grow personally, professionally, and financially. I wanted to have a vision that I could be excited to build for myself and for my future. And all it took was just one kid from the right area created 20 other recruits. Now I have this development pool is very strong, combined for over $250,000 in sales, 8 MITs, 6 TLAs. We'll have a couple of branches and assistants that come out of it. All it takes is one. But the habits, the behaviors, the mindset, there's not a magic pill. It's all that leads up to that one moment. And it takes 4 simple ingredients to make that happen. How do I know this to be true? It's because I used it in my personal business as well. I do have a second business called Grab Tomorrow. And in that second business with Grab Tomorrow, I do have a curriculum of 32 sessions that's being used inside school districts here in my local area. I do teach leadership development in the school system, but I wanted to scale it. I wanted to get it larger. So I took the same principles with social media advertising and marketing and copy and pasting approaches and sending it out to the right people who are connected, the target recruits, through LinkedIn, through Facebook. And I sit on the board of the Education Connection for the Chamber of Commerce. I'm inside Pinellas County School District. One of my good friends now is the president of Leadership Pinellas, using the same principles that I'm going to share with you today. Same principles. Sales is sales, recruiting is recruiting. But the habits, the behaviors, the mindset, we can make this happen across our company. It's so simple. So how the heck does a hurricane work? It's a thunderstorm with 4 extra ingredients: warm ocean water, some winds, some clouds, and some more wind. The first ingredient is warm ocean water. So how a thunderstorm works is how a hurricane works, you have a thunderstorm coming through this warm ocean water. And when it comes over the warm ocean water, since the water's warm, the air rises and it attracts more wind. In our business, we need lists to call. That's our warm ocean water to attract the wind. Lists to call. We need people to call. That's the first ingredient to create a hurricane in your business. I created lists through several different resources. The first was Facebook. Not to take away from the next message, but I'll tell you, I went on a frenzy. I sent a friend request to everyone, but I'm a creepy 31, 32-year-old guy, and not many of the target recruits want to friend me. So I had about 200 to 300 that were like, okay, I'll friend this guy. I had that on my potential recruits list. I enrolled my staff, my MIT, my TLA members. They went ahead and created. Our goal was, our benchmark was to have 2,000 friends on each of their Facebook's potential recruits list by summer. We didn't quite get there. We got to right at about 6,000. So that way we could have an onslaught of Facebook messages that could take place. But we started early. We started December, November. We had checkpoints for each TLA member every single week of how many friends, and I checked it every single week of how many they were at. We also had assistant managers give 50 PRs each, so that way I had the top slice of their PRs. We had campus tables that we were running on the freedom of speech area on my campuses, passing out cards that sent them to a Google form. Everything was funneling through our Google form. Our website was PinellasStudentWork.com. Everything was funneling to that. We even had an approach that's in the handout of how to text past summer reps saying, hey, we have some positions this summer. We noticed you recommended a bunch of people we never got in touch with. Would it be cool if we reach out to them? A majority of people said that's fine. So we had a pool of people to call. That was our warm ocean water, so that way we could attract more wind and a larger hurricane. The second key ingredient is calling them. Well, that's the wind. See, the water attracts the wind in a hurricane. But what happens is when the air goes up in the hurricane, it creates a cylinder, almost like a drain inside of this thunderstorm. And this drain is spinning, so the more wind is the faster this drain is going to go inside the middle of a hurricane. So the wind is calling these lists, because just the list by themselves is not going to get much done. We got to call them. So I created systems. Systems to call these. All of these systems are in the handout. One of the systems of calling them was 42 hours. 42 hours of calling from myself personally. That was 2 hours on a Sunday and 1.5 hours on a Monday, 3.5 hours a week, 42 hours, created over $200,000 in new business sales. It's about $750 an hour. How many of you guys say, Mike, if you could pay me $750 an hour, I'd be down? Say aye. $750 an hour. I know, I'm not saying Dane's wrong, but when he's saying the easiest thing, I think that's the easiest thing, because every one of you did that to get in this room right now. We all sold Cutco. We all sold Cutco. What do? We make phone calls. We set up appointments. We find phone numbers. It's no different. Sales is sales. We make the phone calls. We make the calls. So my formula looks something like this. Every Sunday, 2 hours, it was a staple in the schedule. Every Monday, 90 minutes, staple in the schedule. No matter what. Some weeks were higher than others, but this is how I was able to make it happen. In mid-April to mid-May, I was taking all the Facebook messages that we were sending, because we were sending 50 messages Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday at nighttime. So we were sending 200 messages a week each. So we were probably having about 600 to 800 messages sent each week. And then the next morning, we would have all the responses come through. So between 6:30 and 8:30 a.m., we would respond, copy and paste. All of the approaches are in the handout. That was a system. The system was simple. Net time. What does net time mean? No extra time. Some of that was done while in the bathroom, if we want to be honest. Net time, copy and paste and send a text message. No big deal. No big deal. But we were sending up PRs consistently. Mid-May to mid-June, I took the top 10 list from the trainees, and mid-June to mid-July, I was doing rep-driven alley-oops and triple threats, which I'll talk about here shortly. One other thing I'll mention is we had created a scoreboard and a system every single week on Tuesday. My staff and I, what we would do is we would keep score. How was I able to make this happen? How was I able to make this happen? It's very simple. I created the rules of the game. So if anyone is never inspired, just rewrite the game. So I made a system and a score. I said, all right, staff, I'm going to set up, our region said, Scott Dennis came up, said 15 PRs a week. Jeff Gamboa in the Florida United said, let's do 25. I said, shoot, I sold 300 grand as a sales rep. I'm doing 30 to 50. I know how to make phone calls. I could do 30 to 50, and I'll have my staff match me. Let's do it. Let's break it down. How can we make this happen? So I put it on the whiteboard. We kept score every single day. How many PRs are we setting? Vector Live tracks it, and we kept score. It was competition. If my staff ever if they ever beat me, I'd take them out to dinner. I didn't have to take them out to dinner one time. I rocked it. I made sure I rocked it. I positioned myself to win. Accountability was important. Systems were in place. I made sure that this was, if I knew this was going to create the triple growth opportunity for myself and my people, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make it happen. We texted, we called, all of those systems are in the handout. How do you stay committed when you don't feel like it? Well, if anybody in the room doesn't like making phone calls or making calls to PRs, rewrite the script to make it enjoyable. You got to do it anyway. So I rewrote the script. I had my staff take out a voice memo, and I said, record me. All right, because I don't like this script. This script is 14 minutes long. The attention span of the average kid we're talking to on a random cold call, they're not going to have it. So I said, here, record me. This is what I envision it sounding like, and it's in the handout. But it sounds something like this. Hey, Johnny Rep, this is Mike Abramowitz. How are you? Good. I actually work with your friend Sue. She's awesome, by the way. And I told her that I'm looking to fill a couple positions. She thought you could be a good fit. It's a real young professional work environment, flexible schedules, good earning potential. We offer some scholarships and internships. And frankly, we're just looking for someone who's positive, professional, can adapt to this environment. And your friend thought that you'd be a good fit. So I just wanted to call and introduce myself and see if it makes sense for us to meet one another. By the way, how do you know Sue? Oh, you guys were playing softball together? Great. Were you captains with her? You were one of the captains. Makes sense. That's why I'm talking to you right now. We love overachievers. We love captains. I only have a minute or two right now, Sue. But bottom line is, we have the #1 student work program in the country. We start at $14.50. There's some incentives involved for overachievers to earn more. Flexible schedules. We work with high-quality kitchen cutlery. And it's mainly sitting down with soccer moms and doing exactly what your friend does. So I don't know what your schedule's like, but frankly, I would just like to introduce myself, sit down with you, invite you into the headquarters, spend maybe a half hour with you, go over the details. If it feels like it could be a good fit for you and a good fit for me, we'll set you up for some training. Would you be open for that? 95% of these kids say, yeah, that's fine. The approach takes 3 to 4 minutes. We find a time. We send them a text message with the directions and a pin drop to the location. That's it. How do you set up 10 PRs in an hour? With a really great, strong phone approach that is congruent with what I believe to be true. Don't take my phone approach if you want. I gave it to you. It's in the handout. Make your own that you can feel congruent with, you can feel passionate about, and align your business behind that culture. because I believe everything of that to be true. I'm not advertising 1450. I'm advertising the environment, the culture, the experience, because that's what excites me about my vector business. There's 4 ingredients. We talked about 2. We got the warm ocean water. We got the wind. Next are the clouds. So as this water's going up this whirlwind of a drain, as it gets to the top, it creates more clouds. Those clouds are what strengthen the hurricane. You want to have a big strength. You want to have a large hurricane. You want to have a lot of rep involvement. I have to give credit. Mr. Jeff Gamboa did a fantastic job this summer, as many of us know. But many of you do not know that in May, my office was doing, we did about 35 grand in business in May, in new business. And the whole spring, we did about 30 grand in new business the entire spring. So by the time our May staff meeting came around, we were sitting at about 60-something grand in new business for the year. And then a light bulb. A light bulb is this. Psh. A light bulb. Psh. What does a light bulb look like? Psh. We'll get them. I had a light bulb, and he talked about this triple threat opportunity where the kids post on their social media, their Insta, their Facebook, and their Snap, and they advertise a job, and it goes out into the social media. I was like, man, I did that. I did that for grab tomorrow. I like it. I could buy into that. That's cool. I could get my people bought into it as well. So this right here, this triple threat mantra, this is a slide in advanced training. And how it was set up, it was actually really simple. Many of you in this room probably already do this, but I'm just going to walk you through a very simple formula, very simple system. I want to create simplicity so my branches and districts can do it as well. It doesn't take talent, it takes a system that's easy to replicate. After PR collection, I say, hey guys, by the way, we might not be able to get in touch with everyone. There's some people we don't get in touch with. On Monday for advanced training, we'll ask you to help us get in touch with some people. Is that cool? Cool. On Sunday, during coaching calls, we say, hey, by the way, we have advanced training tomorrow. Did a couple of your friends call you and thank you for the recommendation? Yeah, well, there was a bunch that still we didn't get in touch with. I just want to remind you tomorrow, is it cool if you help us get in touch with some people? Is that all right? Awesome. Then we have a WhatsApp group. I'll put on WhatsApp, I'll say on Sunday, who on the team can send a triple threat out? And then everyone puts the U sign up for Florida United of when they put the triple threat up. And we have a little template that we put out there. It's also in the handout. So they're already exposed to this culture of team building before they come to advanced training. So the palate's wet. 10 o'clock, they show up. 10 o'clock, advanced training. We do our PSPs, our paycheck schedule phone meeting. They're making their calls. We're reviewing their paycheck. And then I say, opening comments. It's about 11 o'clock. I say, all right, team, there's 3 objectives every time you come into this office. We want to help you. Number 1, book up more appointments. Number 2, we want to help you learn new things. And number 3, we want to help you take advantage of all the contests that are up for grabs. We have a sick contest that many of you don't know about right now, but I want to share it with you. The 2, 4, 6, 8 contest, or we do 2, 4, 6. We share that with them. Yeti, $150 experience, $250 experience. Great, $250 signature experience, an unbelievable steak, a night out in town, skydiving, an adventure would be awesome. But remember there's that trip to Jamaica we talked about for your fast start. You got to sell $15K in your fast start to win this trip to Jamaica. If we're going to give you a $250 steak for 6, how many would a $1,300 trip, all-inclusive to an international location, how many would that be worth? Like 20, 30, right? Everyone write this down. Ready? 8. 8. That's it. 8 people that go out and sell $1,000, we're going to send you to Jamaica. Is that fired up? And here's what's cool. They could win it too. They have the whole summer as well. So how about winning an unbelievable trip of a lifetime for you and also your friends? You guys fired up about that? Cool. Let's spread the word. We do something called the triple threat. There's a poster right in the back. Take a picture of that and go ahead and put that on your social media. It looks something like this. Boom. Go ahead and do it. And then I give them some time to go ahead and post out some Snapchats. What we do is we'll do 3 different types of snaps or posts that they could use. Money, experience, and culture. What are the 3? Money, experience, and what? We want them to not just promote money. Money is not what millennials care about nowadays. They do to an extent, but they're more excited about creating a brighter future for themselves. They're more excited about independence. They're more excited about being a part of something bigger than themselves, contribution to their society. They're excited about more than just a paycheck. So we want to promote more. So we promote a little bit more. We have big paychecks. We do have big paychecks, by the way. But they're not excited about the money. They're excited about seeing how much they're worth. Our big promotion is find out how much you're worth here. Right now, society says you're worth $10 an hour. Here at Vector, you could be worth 30, 40, 50, 60, $100 an hour like your friend. Come join the team. Come check it out. It's worth checking out. That's Mr. Gamboa's. This is my team over in Clearwater. We have big paychecks. We do culture, team nights, and we even had a Snapchat filter. I highly recommend Carlos Cordero's girlfriend, Erica Hagley. She has a filter for Snapchat. It's on Etsy. It's very inexpensive, and we use it every single week, and it promotes the top rep. It's awesome. It's pretty awesome. Promote the culture. But here's what's interesting. We didn't just call those people. So they gave us this list, and it was awesome, and at advanced training, it was cool. But we didn't just call them during advanced training. How are we setting 30 up every Monday? It's because there was a system in place. They said, all right, guys, we're not going to call the Google form. By the time at the end of advanced training took place, by 1 o'clock, we would have sometimes 20, 30, 40, 50 Google form applications from this triple threat and that we did at 11 o'clock. But we didn't call them right away. They're already interested. We could scoop them up later that night. I said, guys, we already have, Johnny, you have 6 people that applied already. Sue, you already have 7 people that applied already. You're going to definitely get to Jamaica, but here's the deal. We'll scoop them up later. Here's your top 10 list. Here's your best people. Here's all the people we recommended in training. I want your help. Help us get in touch with them first. We're going to have a goal. We're going to have a frenzy. We got to hit 30. We hit 30, the winning team is going to get a free peeler each. But you don't get the peelers unless we hit 30. So you got to work collectively as a whole, but competitively individually. You guys ready for this? Break. I have the list printed off. The lists are printed. Boom. I hand them out. They highlight as they get set up. They write CB for the ones that didn't answer the phone, but we tried to call them so that my assistants know on Monday night on who to give a call to and who we spoke to and whatnot, so it's labeled. And then we would scoop up all those Google Forms that night. That's how my staff combined to do 250 PRs set up, and I had 2 recruiting assistants during peaks. They did over 300 just like I did. They combined for 300. I set up 300. My staff set up 250, and that's how we made some stuff happen. Lastly, you got to have more wind. Got to have more wind. What happens with this hurricane? In order for it to continue to go really, really, really fast, you have to have more wind. So have you ever seen those rides where it spins really, really, really fast and you, in the center you could like stick against the wall and go upside down and stuff? That's what's happening on the inside of a hurricane. It's going really, really, really fast, and it's sucking up the water from the ocean, and that's what's fueling it. The ocean water's continuously fueling it. But here's what happens. As soon as that hurricane hits land, a storm surge happens where all that water it sucked up is now in the sky, and it comes crashing down and creating this storm surge. So the storm surge in our business, well, that's the fall campaign, because that's what kills the hurricane. Unless you have a replace yourself culture. The replace yourself culture was consisting of stump speeches. If you needed a babysitter, or if you had a babysit, or if you had to do yard work, or if you had to have someone do a cleanup, and they were going to get paid $100 a day while you're out of town, who would you ask? Hey, vacations happen all the time during the summer. So here's the deal, team. We're a team. We have quarterbacks, Hurlman right here. We have quarterbacks. We have kickers. We have the guy that holds the ball for the kicker, and everyone's important. Right now, our quarterback is going out of town. Trey sold $4,000 last week. We need to replace Trey. We might need 4 or 5 people to replace Trey, but I need your help because we're a team here. Who can triple threat real quick and help us replace Trey? That type of culture is what created synergy in our office. You got to raise your people in a healthy environment if you want to have a healthy environment. Treat them the right way. Not only did we sell a lot, we had 25 individuals get over 10K for the summer, 23 of which were recruited this summer. 25 individuals got interviewed for the Leadership Academy this fall. We raised them in a healthy environment. We had a girl, Samantha Scribano, sell $11,000 in 5 days while her friend was out of town just to be a great team member and then went away to college for summer classes. Our country needs leaders right now. And I believe since we're the #1 student work program, that it is our due diligence to play our part. We play our part. We offer the best opportunity for college kids. And I'll leave you with this. I mentioned in the beginning, Leadership Pinellas was run by Georgie Menke. And Georgie was a random message that I sent, and she befriended me, I befriended her. And what's kind of cool is David Fox reached out to Georgie and said, hey, who's this Mike Abramowitz guy you're connected to? Because he's training my son, and I'm not quite sure if I should trust this guy. I'm just a concerned parent. And she sang my praises because I'm a force for good in my community. And Jesse Fox went out and had a team of friends sell over $92,000 this summer. He'll be an assistant manager in my organization, and some of his friends will be branches. Run a great business, be inspired, have a compelling why, show up with a cause, and spread your influence to the masses. So that way for 2018 and beyond, we could be a force for good, and we could be a hurricane in vector marketing. Thank you.